Hi, this is Momita. I'm 2 times NET qualified. So today we are going to learn the Equal Remuneration Act 1976, and this is part 2. And if you haven't watched my last video, I will give it to the I button and you can check it out. Okay, so let's start. Who is empowered to appoint inspector as per the Equal Remuneration Act 1976? So answer will be, one second, both central government and state government. Okay. So it will be appropriate government. Appropriate government appoint inspector under Equal Remuneration Act 1976. Okay. So appropriate government can appoint any number of a person as it think to be inspector for purpose of making investigation under this rules are follows according so that the rules are follows according to this act. Okay. So appoint कौन करते हैं इंस्पेक्टर को like appropriate government. It could be a state government or it could be a central government. And ये इंस्पेक्टर क्या करते हैं? इंस्पेक्टर जनरली क्या करते हैं? लाइक वो देखते हैं, इन्वेस्टिगेट करते हैं कि सारे जो रूल्स बनाए गए हैं इस इक्वल रिम्यूनरेशन एक्ट के वो फॉलो किया जा रहा है कि नहीं किसी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट पे. ओके, देन मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. What does the term same work or work of a similar nature under Section 2H of Equal Remuneration Act 1976 mean? So answer will be, one second, yeah, it will be D. Work of a similar skill, effort and responsibility. So according to the Equal Remuneration Act 1976, what will be considered as the same work? If the work has a similar skill, effort and responsibility and it is done under similar working condition by a man or a woman, it will be considered as the same work. So according to Equal Remuneration Act 1976 के अंदर सेम वर्क किसे माना जाता है? अगर कोई भी काम अगर सिमिलर कंडीशन में हो और उसका सिमिलर स्किल हो एंड सिमिलर एफर्ट जरूरत हो एंड सिमिलर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जरूरत हो, सो उसे सेम वर्क माना जाएगा. So this is important and it has been asked in the last year of UGC NET. So remember this one. Okay. So move to the next question. What remuneration means under the provision of an Equal Remuneration Act? So remuneration का मतलब क्या बताया गया है according to this act? Okay. So it is basic wages and emoluments whatsoever payable. So answer C will be correct. So what is emoluments? It could be either in cash or kind. इसका क्या बेसिक वेजेस होता है. रेम्यूनरेशन में क्या क्या आ जाता है? बेसिक वेजेस आता है. अगर आंसर में सैलरी दिया जाएगा सैलरी भी आ जाएगा. एंड इसके अलावा क्या आ जाता है? एमोल्यूमेंट्स मतलब लाइक ये कुछ भी कैश भी हो सकता है एंड काइंड भी हो सकता है. मतलब काइंड मतलब गिफ्ट भी हो सकता है एंड एक्स्ट्रा कैश भी हो सकता है. एंड काइंड में ये भी आ जाता है कि कभी हम लोग कहीं पे काम करते हैं, कोई भी बंदा काम करते हैं तो उसे क्या कुछ बेनिफिट दिया जाता है, लाइक फूडिंग दिया जाता है, वो भी आ जाएगा. किसी को मोबाइल मिलता है वो भी आ जाएगा एमोल्यूमेंट्स में. ओके, सो आंसर सी विल बी करेक्ट. सो मूव क्वेश्चन. So I have given the definition. According to this act, remuneration means basic wages, salary and any additional emoluments. That could be either in cash or in kind. Okay. So move to the next. Which one of the following statement is not correct as regard to the objective of the Equal Remuneration Act 1976? So let's read out the options. Equal Remuneration Act 1976 provide for payment of equal remuneration to men and women worker. Yeah, it provide equal remuneration to both men and women according to this act. So this will be right. And the question is asked, which one is not correct? Okay. Such work should be same or of a similar nature. Yeah, it should be of similar skill, effort and responsibility as I already told you. there should not be discriminated while making any recruitment. So while recruiting is done, there should be no discrimination regarding recruiting of a man or woman worker. So this is also again correct. So let's see the D option. A discrimination between man and woman workman may be made. So answer D will be correct. So as the question says, which one is not correct? So D will be the answer. Okay. So move to the next question. The provision of the Equal Remuneration Act 1976 has been extended to. So it extends to all category of employment. Okay. So Equal Remuneration Act applies to all categories of employment. It could be like full-time employment, it could be part-time employment, casual employment, or it could be fixed term and contract basis. So Equal Remuneration Act सभी कैटेगरीज के एम्प्लॉयज पर लागू हो जाता है, वो फुल टाइम में काम करे या पार्ट टाइम में काम करे या कैजुअल में, फिक्स टर्म में और या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में. ओके, सो मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. So the question is, in which of the following employments the Equal Remuneration Act 1976 was first enforced? So the answer will be, one second, yeah, Plantation Labor Act 1951. Okay. So according to the question, with Equal Remuneration Act, which another act is also applied to an establishment for very first time? It is Plantation Labor Act 1951. So जो Plantation Labor Act था 1951 का है, rather ये Equal Remuneration Act के साथ पहली बार establishment में like enacted हुआ था. Okay, so move to the next question. Under the Minimum Wage Act 1948, what is the extent of representation of independent person in the advisory board? Okay, so I have given intentionally Minimum Wages Act because this question is very important and there is a certain like confusing among the students. Like here's come advisory board. In last class I already told you advisory board comes under Minimum Wages Act, while as in like advisory committee come under Equal Remuneration Act, right? And this like advisory board के अंदर कितने बंदे होते हैं? It should be 1/3. Answer B will be correct. But while as in this Equal Remuneration Act, there is an advisory committee, right? And advisory committee consists of 10%, right? 10%, and of this 10%, half should be women. So remember this one. This is a bit confusing. That's why I have given this question. एडवाइजरी कमेटी जो होता है इक्वल रिम्यूनरेशन एक्ट के अंदर, इसमें 10 बंदे होना चाहिए मिनिमम एंड उसमें हाफ वुमेन होना चाहिए. एंड जबकि एडवाइजरी बोर्ड जो होता है मिनिमम वेजेस एक्ट में, इसमें 1/3 बंदे होना चाहिए. ओके, सो रिमेंबर दिस वन. क्वेश्चन, in which of the following legislation the term overriding effect is defined? So it is Equal Remuneration Act 1976. So according to this act, if in any establishment 2 or more than 2 acts is like applied, so then Equal Remuneration Act 1976 will be followed there. For example, take an example, if in any establishment 2 acts, say Equal Remuneration Act and another act is applied, okay, but there is a contradiction in this both act. One is saying that you have to employ both men and women and give opportunity to both men and women in the organization, but the other act is denying that. But that time Equal Remuneration Act should be followed. So that makes an overriding effect. Okay, ओवरराइडिंग इफेक्ट क्या होता है, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, याद रखना. ओवरराइडिंग इफेक्ट में बोला गया है कि अगर किसी भी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट में से इक्वल रिम्यूनरेशन एक्ट भी लागू है एंड कोई अदर एक्ट भी लागू है, तो उसमें अगर कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन आ जाए कि इक्वल रेम्युनरेशन एक्ट में जो बोला गया है कि सभी मतलब किसी भी काम में बोथ वर्क लाइक मेन को एंड वुमेन को इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया जाए, बट दूसरे एक्ट में ये कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट हो गया है, मतलब उसे फॉलो नहीं किया जा रहा, तब इन दैट केस इक्वल रेम्युनरेशन एक्ट 1976 विल बी फॉलोड. So it is overriding. Equal Remuneration Act is has an overriding effect. Okay. So move to the next question. So I have given the definition of overriding. Okay. So move to the question. No discrimination to be made while recruiting men and women worker is given under which of the following legislation? It is given under Equal Remuneration Act 1976. So कौन से प्रोविजन में, कौन से लेजिस्लेशन में दिया गया है कि कुछ भी डिस्क्रिमिनेट ना किया जाए रिक्रूटमेंट के टाइम में मेन एंड वुमेन को, सबको दोनों को इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी दिया जाए, वो कौन से एक्ट में दिया गया? इट इज गिवन इन इक्वल रिम्यूनरेशन एक्ट 1976. ओके. Question. Prohibition of discrimination in recruitment or other condition of a service given under which section of the provision of Equal Remuneration Act 1976? So it is given in section 5. So section 5 में क्या दिया गया है? Prohibition मतलब रिक्रूटमेंट के टाइम में कुछ भी डिस्क्रिमिनेट ना किया जाए लाइक मेन एंड वुमेन के बीच में, एंड इट इज गिवन अंडर सेक्शन 5. सो रिमेंबर दिस वन, इट इज अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Okay, so that's all for today's class. If you like my class, please press the like button and subscribe